30-minute mastermind. Today we're going to have Simon talking us through a bit around travel. And he's really involved right now in an amazing project. He's part of Island Innovation. And he's right now in the middle of all the preparation, getting ready for the International Virtual Island Summit that starts the 7th and goes through the 13th. So he's taken time out today to come back on quick with us, but he's not going to be with us next week because he's going to be up to his eyeballs, busy behind the scenes making it all helping make it all happen. But today we're going to talk about the travel part of it, because this is all three of our one of our passions. And as we always talk amongst ourselves, it's one of those things that just grow you as a person. You grow and expand, and it's your personal growth, but it's also the growth of the world from having different understanding, seeing things with different eyes, understanding things in different cultures from different perspectives, and it just expands you as a human, a person. And Simon's going to talk a little bit about some of his really big goals and dreams, and not in the too far off future. You've been talking about some of these things that you've been wanting to do. You want to share with us?
Yeah, thanks for that introduction, Laurie. So I've got this goal over the next 6 or 7 months to save money every month and hopefully have enough by, let's say, next March or April, if there is still travel, fingers crossed, or if there hasn't been more lockdowns. But I want to go over to Central and South America, and specifically I want to check out Costa Rica. So I've never been to the that American continent, and I especially think Costa Rica looks incredible. It's got amazing natural beauty, and they're really focused on preserving the nature there and becoming more sustainable, or as sustainable as possible. They've cut down logging and all these different terrible things, and they're preserving the forests and got there, and this is part of their drive to sustainable tourism. But recently they've been introducing a new thing where you can go over there for 3 months and work as a remote worker, and different countries that are now introducing such a scheme, like Bermuda, Barbados, Estonia, Georgia, I think as well. They're putting in place these visas so people can go and live and work in countries and work remotely. And this is because of in relation to what's been happening with the restrictions of short-term travel. So they're trying to get people to move over there on a longer-term basis. But I've always loved travel since I was a young boy, because I was very lucky as a kid. We were taken on some amazing family holidays. We went to Zimbabwe when about 10, I think that was. Went to Australia and Malaysia when I was 15, 16. Used to go to Italy every other year to visit because part of my family is Italian. So we went to visit my grandparents and my auntie and my cousins over there, and various different countries. And I've also lived abroad, lived and worked abroad in Canada, Romania, and the Canary Islands as well, and Lanzarote and Tenerife. So I'm really passionate about travel, and I think it's a great way to connect people, such as connecting with Laurie and Julianne, who I met in the Canary Islands. I met Julianne in Tenerife, and I met Laurie in Lanzarote, and we've remained, even though I'm back in the UK now, we've remained friends, and now we're doing these weekly masterminds, 30-minute masterminds, and that's through the beauty.
I'm from America, and Julianne is from Germany.
Yeah.
We all three met here in the Canary Islands, which is, if you think of what had to happen, if you think of all the things that happened in our lives that brought us together in one place, that we connected all at that same time.
Yes.
And now here we are. Look, roll forward, and here we are, and doing all of this amazing fun 30-minute mastermind together.
Absolutely. And
But
it's
all the things that had to line up for us, all the decisions and choices we each made in our lifetime that brought us to this place at one time.
you meet a lot of people online in the online world, but then it's rare sometimes. It's rare, especially if online, where you can maybe not show your whole personality so much, or sometimes you are inclined not to, and give out the real you, or just show a facade. But sometimes it's really good that you can actually see, like the three of us. It's something we enjoy doing every week, every Friday, and and it's growing beautifully, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I've been online for almost 20 years. We've been working online. So this was not a big change for me, but it has been a big change for a lot of people, and having to shift the way that they've been used to doing things, and a lot of learning has had to go into it. I've learned, because Simon, we've talked about this digital nomad, which I am just so thrilled to see the younger generation is really grasping hold of this. And later we can put a link to the Digital Nomad website. I'm just fascinated where they've taken this. It's incredible. They've put together sort of a review, I guess, kind of, what would you call it, like TripAdvisor review, or I don't know, Booking.com review of all the different places around the world that everyone is traveling as a digital nomad. And it's a combination of reviewing what the place is like, what costs are like in that place, what internet is like there, how well they're set up and prepared for people to come to be a digital nomad working remotely. There's also like jobs postings, contract postings. I forget what else, but it's just like this all-in-one place that if you are serious about traveling and working online, you can go here. And it just blew me away when I saw it. And so we can put a link into the replay of this. I don't have the link in front of me. But it's just amazing. Everything has shifted. But James and I started our business 20 years ago. We started with that thinking in mind. We didn't say we want to be a digital nomad. We wanted to be able to work from wherever we were. And this was still dial-up days. So we had to make sure that what we were doing, that was one of the reasons we couldn't move here, have a long-term place here in Fuerteventura, because we had to wait for the internet to catch up, because we had to have good remote connections in order to be able to do this kind of thing with our clients. So I'm just so thrilled to see people moving more into and shifting that paradigm that you must be sitting in an office somewhere in order to do your work. And this is causing a lot of corporations to rethink the way that they're doing things as well. Businesses, corporations, that people will continue doing. One of the things we learned a long time ago, one of the reasons James left corporate, was because he didn't feel he was efficient enough. And he's an efficiency guy. That was one of his big tasks. And you can be much more efficient at home because you're not being disrupted by people popping in your office, by 50 million meetings that you have to be rushing off to, and it takes you 10-15 minutes to get from one end of the building to the other for the next meeting at that end. So it really can be much more efficient doing work this way. And many companies are figuring that out now. So there's so many positive pluses about all of this. The bigger part that I've seen, Simon, is people who have been forced into this, who are not this, like Julian, you and I have talked as well. This was your dream to leave corporate type work and to be your own independent consultant.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that goal and dream. Some people love to go into the office and have that vibration, that vibrance that comes with that for them. So this has been a big mindset shift, paradigm shift. But I'm hearing from so many people, they are now realizing how much more time they have with their family, how much more time they have with their children. They're not having to make this commute. They're not having, like I was just saying, rushing from one meeting to another. And
we just have Tim saying hello. Hi Tim. Nice
Hi Tim.
Watching.
Hi Tim. So yeah, and you can travel in different ways, can't you, Simon?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can, in a sense, you can travel virtually now. You can have these people, because it is true that not everybody, it is a privilege to be able to get on a plane and travel somewhere. And there's a lot of people that just don't have that luxury. They don't have the financial resources to do that. But even with a smartphone now, you can pick up your phone and check in on Zoom or Skype or other video chats, and you can connect with people around the world now. And that's part of the beauty of these kind of conversations. And also the Virtual Island Summit that you mentioned earlier, that's going to be happening next week. Bit of a cheeky plug here, but
how many islands are you pulling together? I mean, here you go. This is what we're just talking about, travel. You can travel the world from your home. And how many islands are coming together on this?
I'm not sure exactly how many islands, but there's going to be around, there's going to be about 10,000 people logging in, which, if you compare that to a regular conference, it takes a massive, I mean, this is taking a lot of organization, but just imagine the kind of organization that would take for an event where you'd have to have people flying in from all over the world. This allows people from small islands in the middle of the Pacific and Atlantic and other oceans to connect with people all over the world and share ideas. It's this event is all about sustainability and helping these islands become more resilient to the future, because obviously climate change has hit everybody.
I know I've been on a couple of the webinars that you've been doing, and it is really, really amazing. People sharing, people on different islands, because on an island, you have to understand that there's different dynamics that go on than from mainland. And there's different things that you run into, and especially the islands that are here in Fuerteventura. I believe it's 80% is tourism here on this island. We're just 2 islands over in Tenerife. There's other economy that goes on there as well.
Yes.
So it's been sharing across the world, across the globe, sharing best practices, sharing things that people are running into, and different ways that they're overcoming different things, the way that they're changing how they're doing things that they're seeing already happening as they're happening. And in real time, able to share all of this around the world.
I think it's great, an opportunity to share, and then to actually see that we are worldwide much more alike than we are different, and that, that people worldwide, they face the same challenges. And if I feel that if people are willing to genuinely and openly share their stories and speak from and share from the heart, I think then they get their message across, and it really will really bring a worldwide connection, I think.
Yes.
Deeper, more genuine connection, and this is what a lot of people are seeking right now.
As much as we're hearing that things are disconnected, I think we're more connected than ever. But you get what you focus on, and these are the things I focus on. I focus on what is the best that's going on in the world, because that's what I want to amplify. What are the very best things that are going on in the world right now? That's where I want to be. That's what I want to amplify. That's what I want to grow more of. And um, you get what you focus on. And the thing I see over and over is we are so much more connected in all the best, very best ways. And things are just moving so rapidly into just, if you just look into little tiny bits of the world, things are moving forward in really amazing speed into such great positive going forward.
I guess what you could say is that the old kind of technology, like the television or the radio, you were a consumer, you were just listening. Whereas with this kind of technology, you can actually become a creator and get involved in the conversation.
Absolutely.
So that's the shift.
Absolutely.
And we can connect with people around the world. So it is about, you have to make a choice. Like, you can just sit there consuming, I don't know, news channels and all the stuff they like to feed us. A lot of it isn't particularly, well, a lot of it's not positive, a lot of it's negative. Or you can get involved in these kind of conversations or the Virtual Island Summit and try and come up with solutions for some of the problems that are facing the world at the moment.
Absolutely.
Simon,
30 minutes. Yep, go ahead.
Can I ask you how would you say that being a digital nomad and bringing everything more online is also an opportunity for not only the younger generation, but a generation that is now maybe retired or is going would be retiring soon, but still look for something to do or something more meaningful to do in their lives. Do you think, do you see some potential there?
Absolutely, yeah, because before the kind of
Thanks,
image, yeah, thank you, Tim. Thank you. Speak to you soon. Hope you tune in next week. Yeah, just in terms of digital nomads, the image before was kind of someone in their, I don't know, early 20s, kind of backpacking around the world, going to maybe far off destinations like Bali or the places like that. Whereas now with this new, these new remote working positions, like for example, there's companies such as Twitter and Facebook and other companies that aren't necessarily particularly tech savvy, they're actually letting people work from home now. So that's it means that this has opened up to people that don't necessarily want to be traveling around every 3 or 4 months. They might go and live somewhere for a year or 2 years or stay somewhere permanently and work remotely. So it's definitely an opportunity for the older generations as well, which is really, it's really awesome, and it's all being enabled by this technology.
Yeah.
One of the things I really wanted to talk about this digital nomad thing, because people think that they're sort of stuck right now. But the thing about it is there are places that they are planning for this to happen. And you can, because you're doing the digital nomad, you are working from wherever you are, you can go there and do your quarantine. You know, if they require you to quarantine, you can go there and do your quarantine and still keep working. You know,
Exactly.
just make sure you've got a way to get your food delivered. Someone else who's there can leave it on your front step until you're done with your quarantine. It opens up so much possibility. if you just start thinking a little bit bigger out of the box, a bit creatively, there are so many things you can do instead of focusing on what you can't do. And this is part of what's happening with people just having these almost panic attacks about I've had to quarantine. I've it's just this lack of instead of what else? What is this going to allow me to do different, better? What can I work on to do something different, better about my life or others around me?
Yeah.
And when I was, yeah, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I really agree with that, Laurie. That's really true. And I'd like to give a shout out to James Elsmore, who is the founder of Island Innovation.
Hi, James.
He's been working as a digital nomad for I think it's been about the past decade. He's lived and worked in many other countries, and I met him virtually when I was living out in the Canary Islands, and he at the time, I think he was in South America at the time, and then yeah, I've never actually met him in person, and we've since about the last 6 months we've been working together, and we have a team, or he has a team of people in all around the world basically, and we're all working together using tools like Slack, Zoom, WhatsApp, etc., email, of course. And we have meetings every week, and so it's nice to see everybody's face, but we don't need to be in the same place as each other to actually collaborate.
No, you don't.
It's completely efficient, because we've managed to pull off this virtual island summit next week, which is going to potentially have about 10,000 attendees, and it's all been done virtually via the internet. So I think
my James and I will be on it. We won't be on it next Friday though, because we have our 30-minute mastermind. Juliana and I will be on next Friday here for the 30 minutes. Otherwise, I'll be over there with you.
It's all going to be recorded, so if you
do
miss it, you can catch up on it.
The bit that I miss, I can replay.
And there's going to be lots of talk about sustainable islands, and I think we're actually going to have a few speakers from the Canary Islands as well, potentially.
Wow. Good.
That's going to be great.
Local politicians.
Great.
We're coming down to the last 5 minutes here.
What are your final thoughts, both of you, on this topic?
One of the things that that James Latrobe Bateman and I, we were chatting a little bit about this topic, my business and life partner, and he mentioned to me that just in this last week he was speaking with 2 of our corporate clients, and this is really something that has shifted the mindset so much that 2 of them have moved companies, and everything has been done online, remotely. And like you said, you've never even personally met James Elsmore. Well, corporate is now moving to that. One has not, she's in the company already. She's been there for a little bit now, and she's not met face-to-face any of the team. The other one just shifted companies, they both did all their interviewing just like this. The other one wasn't able to do the interview like this. It was just old-fashioned talking, because the video, the internet connection wasn't good enough. They couldn't get a video, so they just talked, and was hired based on, guess what? His skills and abilities.
That's good.
And connection, that the connection made without visually seeing someone. And we talked about this briefly earlier before coming on live. This is crossing boundaries, being able to do it this way. It's crossing so many boundaries of people being able to get hired into places that maybe they wouldn't have before. based solely on ability, connectability, their strengths of fitting into the team. So this is changing so many things. I remember years ago with corporate, and still now, they up until recently, you know, you would fly the people in for that final interview when it was top management. Now they're doing it this way. So
I personally think it's important. It is a shift right now, but at the moment, it's one of the greatest opportunities we have, and it's important to stay open-minded, because in the end, I think it's all about learning new skills and be willing and open-minded to it, because let's face it, at the beginning when I started my own business and went away from corporate, I also came or faced some challenges that scared me at some point.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Monica. But
Hi.
it's all about finding ways, maybe people who can help, use this power of the mastermind, people who can give you advice, or just stay open-minded, and most of all gentle to yourself. That's
be kind and gentle to yourself. Absolutely. That is a great place to end. We're just at the end of our 30 minutes. Next week, Julianne, do you want to have a really quick, we're going to lose Simon for next week because he's going to be busy over at the International Virtual Island Summit, and we'll make sure that we put that link into our replay so people can hop over and take a look at that if they're interested. But next week we have some really exciting things we're going to be doing. What are we doing? We're going to Prague, aren't we?
We have one of our special guests coming in from Prague, Lupe Castro, aka Miss Castro Rides. And she's a designer, fashion designer, columnist, and blogger. And she's going to talk about sustainable fashion. And together with Kim DeCosta, who's running her own company, Slow & Co., she will be talking about sustainability, or they both will be talking about sustainable fashion and how to go about it.
Fantastic.
So we're super excited about that.
Fantastic. And Simon, we're going to miss you on next week. We missed you last week as well.
Yes,
your dynamic is just amazing together. We miss you not here.
You guys again.
Monica, we're just at the very end. We're so happy you were able to jump on for a minute. We're going to have the replay available shortly, so you'll be able to catch up on the last 30 minutes.
Yes.
And we're at the end of our 30-minute mastermind.
Wow, again. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Have a fantastic week.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful week.
Mwah.